Before we get into today's video, I've noticed that a ton of you guys that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed, so if you are enjoying the content here on Copper vs Glass, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're notified anytime I post a new video here on the channel. Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and in today's video, as you saw from the intro, we are taking a look at the Nebula Capsule. Now this comes from the guys over at Anchor, and you may know them for their cables, chargers, wireless chargers, but they've also got some sub-brands like Soundcore who do some awesome headphones, and they've also got Nebula who do some really awesome projectors. So first up we have the unboxing, and the packaging itself is extremely nice, like pretty much anything that you get from Anchor. You've also got some instruction manuals on the top there. You've also then got an OTG cable, and what that's basically used for is to get micro USB to full size USB, so if you want to plug in maybe an external hard drive, you've got the option to do so, as there isn't any expandable memory on board. You've then got the charging and power cable here. Now unfortunately this is a slightly older model, so it is going to be micro USB, which is a little bit of a disappointment, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. You can't just carry around one cable, maybe if your laptop, iPad and Pixel for example. You are then going to have to carry a separate cable just for the projector itself, which is a little bit of a disappointment. You've then also got some paperwork and warranty, and the really awesome thing about the user manual is once you actually have a look through it, once you get to the back you can see an x-ray of the actual projector itself. So you can see here the different lens elements and also the 360 speaker, which we'll get onto a little bit more on the sound test. Unfortunately, you don't get any sort of power adapter, but anything with a USB is going to work perfectly fine. So again, if you do want to charge it using your laptop, for example, or you've got a phone charger laying around, then you're not going to have any issues whatsoever. And then lastly, you have the projector itself. Now let's just get this out of the way. When it comes to design, this is one of the smallest projectors that I've seen. It's actually the exact same size, or pretty much the same size as what you're going to find with a soda can. So I've got here a standard 330ml can of Coke, and you can see here that it's pretty much the exact size. It's also going to be just under 400 grams, so it is extremely light, and it's a bag size design. You can throw it into a bag or in a cup holder in a car, and it's not really going to take up too much room at all. On the back you've got HDMI input, the micro USB that I mentioned, and then on the top you've got all of the controls. So you've got volume up and down, power on and off, and then the switch mode button, which we'll get onto in a little moment. On the side you do have a focus wheel. It doesn't have any sort of autofocus features built in, but it's very easy to get focus and get that pinpoint accuracy that you need. You've also then got that tripod thread on the bottom like I mentioned, and it does also have built in a 360-degree speaker. So what that basically means is if you're going to be putting this pretty much anywhere in your house, you're going to be able to hear the sound without any problems whatsoever. The really awesome feature as well is it actually pairs up as a Bluetooth speaker. So if you don't want to use the projector feature and you only want to use it as a 360 speaker, again you've got the option to do so.
Since we were stuck in LA, babe, come jump the rooftop and come watch the skyline with me.
Now you may think that the small size affects the overall battery life, and you'd kind of be right, but it also surprised me. Now one thing that I would say is the majority of projectors are going to be static. They're going to be in your house pretty much 24/7, plugged into power all of the time, whereas with the Nebula Capsule, it's more of an out and about, take it on an adventure kind of projector. Now the projector itself takes around 2.5 hours to get to a full charge, and once it's fully charged and you unplug that power cable, it's going to last around 1.5 hours on the ultra high power mode. Now what that basically means is it's going to brighten up the picture and things, and it's just going to use a ton more battery. Whereas if you use it in the battery saver mode, you're going to be looking at around 3.5 to 4 hours, which is pretty good for kind of any movie that you want to watch. However, if you do switch it over to the Bluetooth speaker mode, that's going to last around 30 hours or so. So again, if you are going out to like a party or a weekend away, for example, you don't really have to worry too much about charging it if you are using it as a Bluetooth speaker. Obviously, switching between the two different modes frequently is again going to use the battery a lot more, but again, the versatility is there. A lot of the time with the Projector, it is just that, a projector with built-in speakers. So to be able to use this as a standalone speaker and get around 30 hours battery life is actually a really cool feature that I've not seen before. Again, something that you don't always talk about with projectors is going to be the software. Now the Nebula Capsule is going to be running Android 7. Now yes, it's not the newest version of Android, but it is still Android. So what that basically means is you're going to have really fast menus, you've got some downloadable apps as well, and just in general the user interface is going to be really recognizable. You've got the standard home buttons and back buttons that you would find on pretty much any Android device. Now in terms of the software itself, it's going to be running on 1GB of DDR3 RAM, you've got 8GB of memory, and the battery built in is around 5,200 milliamps. So all of that combined, it's actually a really good experience. Now yes, I would like a little bit more in terms of customized features that you do get on other Android devices, but just in general to have Android running on a projector opens up a ton of different opportunities. If you want to install some different applications or even sideload some applications, then yes, there are certain workarounds, but again, you do have the option to do so. But everything that I've mentioned doesn't really mean too much if the picture quality and sound quality isn't actually very good. Well, I'm happy to say that both of those things actually performed way better than I thought they were going to, based on the size of the projector. Now the projector itself can get between 20 and 100 inches. You're going to have a 3,000 hour lamp, so again, in regards to the actual bulb that you've got there, that is going to last you a ton of movies, TV shows, and again, if you don't really use it all that much and you use the speaker, this thing is going to last you even longer. The resolution comes in at around 854 by 480. Now, yes, that's not the highest resolution out there. However, if you do plug something in via the HDMI cable on the back, you are actually going to be able to get a slightly higher resolution. Now, what I mean by that is if you use the built-in YouTube or Netflix application that is built into the capsule itself, then yes, the pitch quality isn't necessarily going to be the highest in terms of resolution, but again, with a projector, you don't really notice it all that much compared to if you were looking at a laptop screen or a tablet, for example. So again, you do have the versatility of those different inputs as well. So if you do want to plug in a games console, for example, or even a Google Chromecast, then again, that HDMI cable comes in really handy. Now in regards to the throw distance, which is basically where the projector can go compared to the wall, you're looking at just under 1 meter and around 3 meters in terms of the shortest and the longest distance. Now obviously the closer to the wall you're going to have it, the smaller the picture, and if you get forward to that 3 meters, that's where you're going to get that 100-inch picture from. For me, I was using it at around 4 or so feet from the wall that I've got here. Now for me, I actually don't have any plain white walls in my home, so I actually just went out, bought a piece of card, and that's then what I was using. So I just put it on the wall with some blue tack, and then I positioned the projector and I had it on this monopod here, and again, it actually worked surprisingly well. And that's definitely something to keep in mind with this projector, where it is marketed quite heavily as taking it out and about and around with you. You're definitely going to want to have something that you can prop it up on. For me, a monopod works extremely well. You can get them on Amazon for maybe around $20 or so, so it's actually quite cheap. And then again, this piece of card here was only around £5 here in the UK. And if you just want to prop it up against something or stick it to a tree in the forest, for example, you're not going to have any issues at all. Now, obviously, the best option is using a larger sheet, for example. You can buy specific projector screens. Yes, they are a little bit pricey, but if you do want to get the best overall picture, then that's definitely the way to go. So overall, what do I think of the projector? Well, it actually exceeded my expectations. When I first saw that it was the size of a soda can, I was a little bit worried in regards to the picture quality and also the sound quality from that 360-degree speaker. But actually, the pitch quality is really good. The sound is actually a lot better than I thought. So overall, it does a really good job at being an out and about projector. Now, that's also definitely something to keep in mind as well. So with regards to the price, you're looking around £250 to £300 here in the UK. As always, it will be linked in that description down below. And yes, it may be a little bit pricey for what you're getting. You can buy maybe some at-home projectors with slightly better picture specs, but again, they are going to be a static projector that you can't really take out and about with you. A huge thanks to Anchor for sending this out for review. As always, like I mentioned, it's going to be linked in the description down below. If you've got any questions or comments, let me know in the comments below or on Twitter at @CopperVersusGlass. And if you're not already subscribed, now's a great time to do so. And once you've hit that subscribe button, be sure to turn on notifications notification so you're notified anytime I post a video here on the channel. I've realised that over 90% of people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed, so let's try and increase that number in 2021. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.